Right, this is going to be a quick guide on getting past a ramp in a Fire Canyon skip. So let's get right into it. The first thing is you'll be coming from second box and looking something like this. Now you can go around the left of these crates, but it's honestly perfectly safe to go around the right hand side as long as you push yourself into those rocks. The hitbox is not accurate at all for that bit of the wall there. So then you make your way hugging the wall and push yourself into this corner. Don't try and push too far left, otherwise you will slip past like this. But just push yourself into this corner and then let go, and it should put Jack... I let go at the wrong time there. You let go, and it will put Jack in this same spot every time. That's important for a consistent setup here. So Jack at this point should be facing into the wall. It's not too... It doesn't matter too much if he's facing a little bit to the right or the left. As long as he's just facing into the wall generally, it should be fine. So ramp consists of two important bounces. The first one, you go from your starting point, which is here, to the first bounce spot, which is here, to the second bounce spot, which is somewhere in this region. There are a couple of places you can land here. It's not as precise as it may seem. And then you land past this bit that sticks out here, sort of around here. And once you've landed there, you're pretty much safe. So the important thing about the first bounce is just not to miss your mark. Again, the area is pretty generous, but if you go too far, you'll get pulled into the ramp. If you don't go far enough, you won't be set up properly for the second bounce, and you also might get pulled in if you go really too short. For the second bounce, the most important thing about the second bounce is by the time Jack hits the floor, he needs to have 0 momentum horizontally. He needs to not be traveling sideways. So you will be traveling sideways to get him to this point, but you need to, in the air, you need to let go of the left stick, so that Jack decelerates as he's falling back towards this spot. And so by the time he hits the spot, he's not moving sideways. That is what allows you to bounce there without getting pulled in to the ramp. So it looks a little bit like this. Not like that, for fuck's sake. There you go. See, I bounced there. If you can bounce there once without getting pulled in, then you've hit the spot and you've done it correctly. You can't ever bounce here more than once. If you bounce here twice, then you'll just get pulled in. But that's a good way to see whether you're making that correctly, is you can bounce there once without getting pulled in. Something I should mention quickly actually is that when you set up this, you set yourself up in this corner and then you let go. Make sure you wait at least one bounce before you go, like that. Otherwise you'll get what's called a boosted bounce, which is this. As you can see, it launches Jack sideways very quickly, and you're just never gonna get past ramp if that happens. So you let go, wait for a bounce, and then you go like that. And that's the whole thing. So I'll do it once more. Actually, before I do it once more, I should explain the final part. Is I said you need to make sure Jack's not moving once he hits the floor here. Now obviously you need to then make it to here before you hit the floor again. And so the second crucial part of this bounce is, as soon as Jack hits the floor, you need to hold left again. So you don't hold left before he hits the floor. As soon as he hits the floor or afterwards, you need to hold left again, or hold in this direction. And that's the only way you're going to make it this far, make the distance. When you're starting out, you might get a lot of situations where you manage to get this landing point and then you don't make it like that. And that's because you're holding left too late. Which is tricky, because I told you need to let go of left in order to slow Jack down, but then you need to start holding left again immediately after he hits the floor. So this is what it looks like again in full. So I wait a bit, go, let go, and go, like that.